Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I greet you with honor, blessings, and respect for you, yours, and I always send my love and prayers. I am your host, Mr. David Null, aka Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with love and honor and blessings. I said that again, but I'm going to repeat it again. And this little topic for today, or in this particular YouTube video, this being Sunday, the 28th of October, 2018. And wow, I didn't even have to think about it. It rolled off my tongue. And so I've been getting these little, angel messages. Well, they're not really little, but look, I digress already. But these angel messages and so forth, and I have mentioned in a couple of my videos, that sometimes, the angels keep giving me, my spirit guide taps me on the shoulder and kind of whispers in my ear and says, somebody's got to be the grown up in the room. And I get what they mean by this. And I find it, hello, Marie, howdy, howdy, howdy. Let's see, it's good morning to you, I think, and evening to me. But blessings to you, my dear. And so I thought I'd do this little video about what it means to be in what I mean by, and what the galactics are telling me, to be the grown up in the room. There are so many new changes and things going on in this world. And there are so many people that I know in my lifetime through Facebook and school. And, I'm 66, and therefore I've met a lot of people in my lifetime. And so, not bragging, just fact, that's what it is. And so I'm looking at folks and watching their conversations and things and being an observer, sometimes a participant, because I'm like, well, wait a minute, where are you getting this stuff from? You know, and a friend of mine many years ago, the other day, I made a comment on his Facebook, and I was like, where are you coming from with this? Hey, you white people, something. I was like, hang on. I'm one of these white people. I live down here in KKK country. And I mean, I'm sorry, but if anybody should be hearing stuff about these, anyway, it was just like, I can't believe that you're buying this lousy BS bill of sale, the liberal or whoever you want, the bad guys that are trying to create, chaos amongst us. And just yesterday, or maybe, just yesterday, I'm not going to mention any YouTube videos, but it's in my like videos section if you want to go check. But a particular personality with over 200,000 subscribers came out and said, you know what, I'm not going to be this type of person to repeat the mainstream BS anymore. I'm not going to regurgitate it anymore. I'm not going to be, the mother bird that takes the food and regurgitates it to you, the young in the nest. No, I realized that I'm a pawn in this chaos. And I'm like, right on, brother. Right on. I've been trying to tell folks for a little while now, like, hey, and the galactics and the angels have been saying, hey, keep an eye on what's going on in the world. Make sure you keep an eye on who's doing what, but stay detached emotionally and don't get caught up in it, And so many people, and for whatever reason, they're having these aha moments. And I've noticed in 4 other Facebook kind of posts from different people that I've known, younger than me, and some of these folks, I kind of wondered, would they ever get it? And all of a sudden, they're like thinking clear. And I'm like, oh my God, they have become the grown up in the room, where they have stopped just regurgitating what everybody else is worried about. Like, oh, that caravan of migrants, they're 1,500 miles away. And unless they catch a train, it's going to be a while before they get here. Just saying. Yes, it's an issue. Yes, it's a problem, but it's not what people are trying to get everybody's panties in a bunch for, It's just not. They're tidy whities in a bundle. Absolutely, And so it's like, all righty then. So the things that are being promoted by the mainstream news is trying to keep everybody agitated and each other's throats. And I mean, this person, I'm not going to name any names, has been a long time friend for many years. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Now, how come this person's attitude has changed so much from, and over the years, and and I'm like, well, And I'm sorry, but I used to be a liberal Democrat, no longer. I'm not a Republican. I don't belong to any party. I don't want a party affiliate, at least for the moment. There's nothing out there that even resembles what I want to even pretend to be. So I'm an independent, but not part of an independent party. I'm just an independent thinker, and I'm going to damn vote for who I want to. And if you're not a constitutionalist, then you're not getting my vote. I don't care what good things you think you can do. If you're already saying the Second Amendment should be abolished, then you're not getting my vote. The certain things, and I don't even own a gun. The feds took them away from me, because I committed a felony. I was in possession of marijuana, and they took my shotgun away for self-protection down here in the woods. But okay, but to the point though, somebody has to be the grown-up in the room. And what do I mean more by that? There are new things opening up every day. There are realizations. And some of us, when we wake up, we have to be grown up enough to speak out about it. Go, you know what? This is really stupid. And please understand that, yes, it matters. And yeah, like the caravan of people and so forth. And yes, it's very weird and all this other. Yeah, okay. But let's not get emotionally attached to this. They're going to try to draw this thing out and suck our energy right out of us. So be the grown up in the room and go, hang on. I see what y'all are doing. Yes, it's important. Yes, we should address it. Yes, we should do better on our southern border, but let's not freak out, please. Be the grown-up in the room. In other words, a bunch of kids go, oh my God, the sky is falling, Chicken Little, So, and I say this in with a little bit of tongue in cheek, with humor, but at the same time, it's still serious, And a month ago, I was still kind of wondering, are any of these people going to see through this charade? Are any of my friends or longtime acquaintances, and are any of these people going to catch on to what the hell's really going on? That the church is just stealing their money, and the government's doing this, and people are getting arrested and put in jail for the dumbest things, and they're trying to get us all riled up about stuff. And hang on, take a deep breath. And while everybody's screaming in the room and jumping up and down, and I mean the room is the world, okay? The room is your group of friends that are all in a frenzy over something. Stand up and be the adult in the room, the grown up, and go, hang on, guys. Yeah, all right, yeah, but okay. I'm the camp counselor. This is round one. Y'all just chill out here, okay? Okay, Nancy Scott took your pencil. Okay, fine. Sit down. Nancy, where's the pencil? I mean, somebody's got to be the grown-up in the room and and not to criticize, just say, calm down. Please calm down, because they're trying to make us. And there are so many folks out there that, and you probably know a few, that have become blithering idiots. And I'm going, what? I thought you people had brains, And when I start talking about something and I'm discussing, well, somebody's got to be the grown up in the room, they're like, whoa, freaking out and stuff. And I'm like, that's my point. You shouldn't be freaking out. We should just have a discussion. If you disagree with me, then let's have conversation. But so far, all they can go is, but nobody has a good comeback. So it's like, okay, I just made a point, and all I want you to do is think about that particular point. Are you overreacting to some of this thing? Are you a little kid in the corner going, oh my God, I didn't get my lunch, or whatever it is, And yes, I'm trying to be humorous with this, because at some point, some of these intelligent college graduates with years of experience in business are acting like bleeding idiots. And I just have to say to myself, who's the grown-up here in the room? Whether it be the Facebook thing or what, I think you understand what I mean by that. Who's the grown-up here? You're going to continue to say that you're still mad at Trump. For what? Oh, well, he allowed the pipe bombs. Are you serious? I still think that story's just like really weird. Some guy living in a van in South in the Everglades in Florida was able to pull this off the way it was pulled off. I'm just saying there's something really fishy about this, okay? He may have done it, but the way it came out and the way it happened and how many people, I mean, um a guy in a van? Do you remember the old Saturday Night Live skit, with, and I'm trying to think of his name, it's not coming right now, but I live in a van down by the river, and it's like, and so they're picking the guy with a van down in the swamp to have done, I don't know. It just sounds weird. There's too many weird little angly things going on here. I'm not sure, it just seems strange. But to the people who are like got their panties in a bunch, it's like, oh my God, everybody's going to get pipe bombed. Well, it's not like that. It's okay. More panic. Let's blame it on Trump some more. And I'm like, will you stop this? Oh, well, there was he was a left wing, right? I don't know, left, right. He was some kind of Trump supporter, and therefore, Trump's is the reason why this. Oh, stop it. Somebody came up with something and it went out around and across and went to different people. I mean, how come some of these packages don't have postmarks on them, but they got stamps? How come some of these things only had like one fingerprint and no saliva on the stamp that was licked? I mean, there's so much weirdness about this. I'm not calling it a false flag, but if it smells like a false flag, well, then maybe. Just saying. But to the point, though, everybody is all got, they did it to everybody again. Oh my God, here's another chaotic frenzy. And guess what? Just before the elections. Okay, who can be the grown up in the room and stand up and go, y'all, come on. I'm not going to place blame. I'm not going to tear this thing apart about the pipe bomb thing and who could have been. That's not the point. The point is it looks fishy. It smells fishy. Therefore, if it smells and looks like fish, maybe it's a freaking fish. Okay. But for this, the entire nation and other places to get so outrageously bonkers, and it's now it's all this, these Republicans, and it's this guy and that, and it's Trump's fault. God almighty. Again, I ask, who's the grown up in the room here? You people my age, in your mid to late, early late 60s, please. I thought you people had a brain. Yes, it's serious. Yes, it should be investigated, but it smells fishy. And you should be an adult and go, this sounds fishy. All I'm saying, and just be the adult in the room, just, have the courage. Okay. Because there's a lot of people who are like, well, I don't know, everybody else is going along with this. Well, maybe I just won't make a remark. Well, look, I have had that issue, and I still do on certain subjects. And I say this with all due respect to myself and any other people who might fall into this category. It's chicken shit. We don't have enough courage to stand up and go, hey, you know what? This is just fishy. We don't have to go on to some conspiracy thing. We just have to raise our hand and go, I think this is fishy. Kind of pretty much leave it at that. Look at the facts, please. Y'all be adults about this. Look at the facts, and something's fishy. That's all you got to say. You don't have to go into any detail. You can if you want to, but like for a YouTube video, that's not what I'm after. But somebody's got to be a grown up in the room. Somebody's got to raise their hand and go, hey, hang on, y'all. This is a little absurd, don't you think? I mean, don't you think this is absurd? To get one of those things through the mail and through the this and the that. How do you get everybody's address? How do you get Robert De Niro's? Oh, come on. There's all kinds of weird stuff, but all right. But here's to the point. Somebody needs to stand up and go, something strange about this. Y'all just chill. Yeah, pay attention. I mean, if you get a strange package in the mail, but most of us aren't going to receive that. And we can stand back and go, well, okay, it didn't happen to me. I didn't get, white powder in an envelope and nobody sent me a pipe bomb. And, okay, well, I can talk about this. That's not what I mean. I mean that there's just something fishy about the whole damn thing. And that we just need to have the courage just to say that. We don't have to go into detail. We just have to say, something sounds fishy about this. Yeah, it's not right. Yeah, that's weird. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's all true. But there's still something fishy about this. Okay, next thing. What about the courage part? Well, it's like I'm seeing people now, and again, I'm going back to Facebook because I can, look at a lot of people's different profiles and their comments and their forwardings and that kind of thing. And I can say this with certainty that there are folks that are waking up about the spiritualism versus religion. And I'm so wonderfully amazed at the people who are waking up. And they're going, you know what? These Christians are trying to tell me this, but then they put down everybody they see. Oh, look at that person over there, and look at this and that, and they're being so judgmental. Oh, you Christians, I've already done a video on that, but this is just a segment of this particular video. So this particular segment is, oh, you Christians, oh, you Bible thumpers. And I'm going to start picking a gospel out of the New Testament, and I'm going to use it against you folks, you Christians, you Bible thumpers, who are trying to tell me I got to go to a church to understand what Jesus said. Are you serious here? Because I don't belong to a church, I can't be a Christian. What? Hang on. Somebody's got to be the adult in the room. Somebody's got to be the grown up and go, hang on. Wait a minute. I have access to 28 different versions of the Bible. I can compare the verses, the passages, and the chapters myself and delve into this and understand it on a level that just going to a church, listening to a pastor will never give me. And so I've decided to be the grown-up in the room, if you will, and say, hey, guys, you Christians out there, you support your church. You don't support the poor. You don't support what Jesus asked and what Jesus taught. But then you want to turn around and criticize me because I want to read the Gospel of St. Mark and show you where he said the same dadgum thing. But you want to criticize me for picking on rich folk. Hang on, Bible thumper Christian, please go back to your Bible and read the chapter and verse yourself and try to tell me that it says something different. It will be harder for a rich man to get into the gates of heaven than it will be for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. In other words, a camel's going through the needle before any rich person. Get it? And it's right there. So, my point is somebody's got to be able to have the courage to go, hang on, y'all. You can be Christ-like and have nothing to do with religion. You can have Jesus in your life at all times, always, because it's a feeling, it's a belief. You don't need a church for it. But we have to be adult enough and the grown-up in the room and go, hey, hang on. I believe in what Jesus taught. Of course, I believe in what Buddha taught and Confucius, because guess what? They all taught the same core value. So is any one particular religion better than another? No. Is one belief better than another? In my book, no. Because when you look at the core values, when you stand up and have the courage to be the grown-up and go, hang on, Jesus taught the same thing to Buddha, kindness, help, being, Confucius, Taoism, they were all talking, loyalty and honor, respect, and, what? Isn't that what, the Bible's teaching? So, but those, quote, religions or those beliefs are wrong. And Christians point their finger at these other religions. You people are savages if you don't have Christ in your life. And the thing is those people are more Christ-like than you will ever be. Somebody's got to be the grown-up in the room and raise their hand and go, hey, y'all, just saying, before you go criticizing somebody else. And I'm sorry, but I'm using the word Bible thumper as a derogative. I'm sorry, because they thump the Bible thinking that all the answers and everything that they've got is right in there. And the thing is they use it to their own device. They use the Bible and they thump it in order to get your attention that this is what the Word of God said. Well, if you stay out of the Old Testament and stick with what Jesus said and talk about the parables and the Gospels and leave Paul out of it, be the grown up in the room and just tell folk, hang on, y'all, just pay attention, pretty please. There's more to this than they're letting on. You think you're giving money and you're contributing to the poor because you give it to the church, and the church never again sends it to the poor. It all goes to the church. And I'm going to quit harping on this in this particular video, but the thing is, that's true. Be the grown up. If you're going to a church and ask your pastor. They're supposed to be able to show you all the, where all the money goes. And if you're contributing to the church and you think your donation, oh, that's a good thing. We bought a new air conditioning unit. Okay, fine. Oh, well, we had to, all right. Well, your money's being spent on the church and not where Jesus intended it to go. That's all I'm saying. But be a grown up and admit it. Look at it for what it is and stand up and say, have the courage to go, son of a gun, damn it, man. And it's not that I'm right. It's that they have fudged over you for so long that you can't see the truth. That's where you have to be grown up and go, oh my God. And allow that thought, allow that thing to continue with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I will phone call in the middle of a live stream. That's okay. I will call the gentleman back in a moment. So being the grown up in the room means to be able to have the courage to. I don't mean go out on the street corner and go, hey, all you Bible thumpers, they're a bunch of idiots. No, that's not what I mean. Have the courage in your own convictions to go, you know what? I'm not going to believe that anymore. I'm just not. I understand there is a higher power. It's higher than any religion. The teachings are just that. They are to teach us and to help us on our spiritual path, having nothing to do with any particular religion. And honestly, no particular belief. Because like I say, if you study the religions as I have, and the internet has all the information. So, some of these people are so weak-minded. They're like, well, that Buddha didn't say that. And how could Jesus go to be, but be the grown-up about it. Admit that at least maybe it was possible. Jesus disappeared. Nobody knew where he went. That's because they didn't want you to know he went to the Middle East or and went and studied, Hinduism or Buddhism. Are you serious? Would you think that would go well with the Christian cause? Which is all about money and churches. I mean, down through the ages, and King James decided to make his own Bible, for goodness sakes, and people don't know the history behind that, but they take his word for it. Oh my God, King James thought he was God on earth, y'all. I mean, but be the grown up in the room and do your research, and you'd never pick up another King James version again, because it's not the same as the old text. He wrote the Bible to suit his own needs. Be the grown up in the room and say, holy crap, do a little bit of homework. So the next thing, what about other things? Well, for example, can we do anything about, politics? Sure we can. We can go vote. We can make sure we talk to our friends and our family and go, who are you going to vote for? And again, I'm going to say this, ask your representative, whoever it is, for whatever office, because they all have to swear an oath when they take office, and it's to uphold the Constitution. And if they take that oath, but they want to change the Second Amendment, then they have no desire of upholding the Constitution. Okay, these Democrats who are running, they want to impeach the president. For what? I'm sorry, because you don't like him. Okay. Well, and all the stories that have been made up, not a shred of evidence has come out to any kind of contrary. Millions of dollars spent on the Russiagate thing. Not a damn thing was proven. A couple of folks didn't pay income tax. A couple of folks lied under oath. That was it. But Trump's still a bad guy. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's a whole hell of a lot better than Obama was, and George Bush, who stole my Social Security. It's like, and other people's. And it's like, wait a minute, you want to cut this guy down? There's a lot that I understand about what Trump's doing in industrial wise, but this is not the video to do it, except to say that having lost, this large company in South Georgia that I've discussed before, and that NAFTA was the cause of it. I was the second person in the state of Georgia to receive the new extended workman's comp. No. Unemployment benefits that George Bush passed after the fact, after we all lost our jobs. But I was the second person in Georgia to receive those extended benefits because of NAFTA. And I never regained the status of being an engineer again, because all of the engineers, all of the industries were moved out of the United States and went overseas, south, north, all over the place. Trump's bringing all that back in. It's going to take another year or so, because when I worked in the industry, and I worked for Press-to-Light Wire, and I've been to Toronto several times, and Windsor, Ontario. I think it may. I'm not sure if it's Ontario, but anyway, the Ford engine plants in Windsor. I've been to Detroit, and then the Chrysler plants up there. I've been around. I've seen them. I've talked with some of the engineers, other folks, blah blah blah, and so I know what I'm talking about in this respect. And I'm here to tell you that when it takes time to get the machines in place, it takes time to set up delivery of steel. It takes time to interview people and or train them. And a lot of the machinery that used to be down here in South Georgia, complete machine shops, punch presses, I mean, just unbelievable types of machining. They don't exist anymore. It's been sold to overseas. Some of it was sold as scrap. So we don't even have the machines to make machines. I mean, all of this has to be geared back up. But here, I'm going to be the grown-up in the room and go, those folks who want to beat Trump up about this stuff, y'all don't understand what it is. Now, if you've ever been in the manufacturing business and understand how long it takes to get these things set up, when Chrysler or Ford comes up with a new engine design or something, they give as much as 2.5 years lead time for other manufacturers to meet what their designs are. So if it happens in 1.5 years, that's like really fast in the industry. Okay, because you got to get the dies set up, you got to get the materials, everything has to be set up, and then you have to get it delivered, and then it has to be assembled, and then it has to be put on your new design. And so it takes time for these kinds of things. But people just want to rag and beat him up, and I'm like, I know what the guy's doing. I really do. I see it, and it is for our benefit. I know some old machinists and folks that were in manufacturing that would love to work part-time, just have something to do, to go back into being a machinist again, or grinding or whatever. But to the point, be the grown-up in the room and go, you know what? Some of these things are positive things that he's doing. And be the grown-up and go, will you please quit picking on the guy for the dumbest stuff that is really not his fault? Can you be grown up enough in the room to go, how in the hell could Trump have anything to do with these pipe bombs? And are you really freaking kidding me that some of these people are trying to blame it on him? It's Trump's fault that the bombs went out. What? All right, wait a minute. Be the grown-up in the room, pretty please, and go, I'm sorry, but this sounds fishy, and why am I regurgitating the same gall darn crap? Be grown up about it. But at the same point, I'm not telling you to go out there and stand on the street corner and wave your hands and jump up and down and bang a gong or whatever. Nah. Just be grown up enough to be able to tell your friends and relatives and folks around you, don't you think this is weird? All you got to do, because that goes against their grain. It takes you out of their chaos. And that's part of being the grown up in the group. Okay. When you take yourself and remove yourself, your energy from the chaos, and you quote become the camp counselor, if you will, to a bunch of running India, little kids, bad sheep kind of thing. Um, you get an entirely different perspective on what life is, or what this is, or the because you're not involved in the chaos any longer. It gives you a completely different point of view. And all you have to do is just stop being a part of the chaos. That's all. And so the joke is, be the grown up in the room, or be the adult, or the camp counselor, however you want to do it. But be the one that just says, hang on, something's weird. And I'm just not going to fall for your shenanigans anymore. It doesn't have to be any more than that. But when we take our energies out of the chaos can't multiply. We're detracting from the chaos. We're pulling our energy out of it. We're salvaging ourselves, truly. But what we're actually doing in the grand scheme of things, especially all of those of us, and I see you folks over there in the chat room, but I ain't gonna put my glasses on yet. I'm almost done. But we have to be able to realize that just by taking our energy out of the chaos, we are contributing to the positive side of things. Just by simply not getting involved in the chaos. We need to pay attention. We need to watch the headlines, but we can say, that's interesting, instead of, oh my God, all these things and the people and the thing and the guy and we don't have to do that. We can remove ourselves and that energy from this chaos. And the more people who will just stand up and say, no, sorry, I'm just not going to involve my energy in that. Going to keep it to myself, if you will, so I can use it as I see fit, not as you wish to drain me. You crazy people out there trying to drain my energy and my friends, I'm going to stand up and say, sorry, but I don't want my friends to be in this chaos anymore. I'm going to be the grown up in the room and say, hey, y'all, I see what you're doing. Hi, Bob. You're in there in the AI. I love you, my brother. Thank you for being kind to me, and for accepting my apology. For those of you who don't know, Bob is one of the AIs, and I pissed him off about a year or so ago, and I had to send I know, Bob, it was rude of me to do that. It's not your fault. But anyway, a little bit of levity in this, a little bit of humor. Yes, some of this stuff. And we got to look at some of this stuff and go, can you really buy this flipping story? Can you really? I mean, it's just so like, hang on, but so many of us, or them maybe, have been caught up in this delirium. I still have hope for them. I'm still going to pray for them. Absolutely. Because some of these people have good intentions. They have a good heart, but they've gone bat crap cray cray over some of this stuff. Now, also yesterday, and I couldn't pull it up earlier today, not sure what's going on, but we had a severe spike in the Schumann residence. And I mean, off the charts for about 12 hours, a big time, woo-hoo-hoo. And it was weird because it kind of corresponded with me waking up in the middle of the night and doing a video about the Gospel of St. Mark, okay. And I looked at the Schumann residence and I was like, look at this mess. Ain't that strange? But just say it, just a coincidence. So not only are we getting galactic energies that are making us all crazy, but we're also the Schumann resonance coming up from Mother Earth. It's having a tremendous effect on all of us. So the word is, be grown up enough to see what's going on. You may not understand it fully, but as soon as you realize, as soon as you make the statement, I get it, This is part of the matrix. This is part of their scheme. This is part of Agenda 21. Whatever, however you want to put it in your own words. I just refer to it as I've decided to become the camp counselor of myself and my personal surroundings. And you know what? I'm going to look at that and I'm going to go, you know what? If people were really killed in that, I'm really sorry about that. Truly. And I will say prayers for their families, but I'm not going to sit and wail and moan and spend hours and hours sending out emails and forwarding memes and all that tweet stuff. Sorry. Make it simple. For those who may have died or for those who have died, whether you know it or not, I will say a prayer for you, your spirits, and your family. Leave it at that. That's all the closer we need to be to that. Because we don't want to see people murdered or bombed or hurt or whatever. Do no harm to any other being. The number one rule that fits everything. So we stay out of the chaos. Keep an eye on it because they're crazy. Keep an eye on our personal surroundings. Make sure that we keep our personal energies and our personal protections up. Guard yourself by all means. But at the same time, once you have that, I know because I noticed it in this particular YouTube video. I could see it in the guy's eyes. He's like, I really had an aha moment. They were playing for as much as he was trying to tell people that he wasn't part of the chaos. He realized all of a sudden yesterday that he was part of the chaos inadvertently. And even though he was trying his best not to be in it, he was. Oh my God. And he had this realization. Oh man. And the time I have wasted, the energy I have wasted. And I laughed. I had to listen to part of it over again. I was like, he got it. He really did, And it's like, wow. And so this awakening is happening for folks that, I knew their father before he passed and they're having these same aha awakening moments. They're questioning religion, not the Bible or, their faith, but they're questioning, why should I'm giving money to the church, but they don't help poor people. I've been going to this church for years. And then when I went to go get help, they said, sorry, we can't help you. Well, wait a minute. What's the church for? Well, I thought you guys were supposed to help the poor people. And then now they're realizing, oh, holy crap, I've been donating money to the church. And now that I could really use help from you guys who I've been supporting, and you turn me down and go, well, you need to go down to the welfare office. You need to go apply for food stamps or we'll give you enough food for a day or two. But, oh, well, sorry about that. And it's like, what? When you can't support the church from your own self, folks are finding they get left by the wayside and they're going, wait a minute, but you guys you're supposed to be teaching me compassion. You're saying that Christianity as a Methodist or a Baptist or, but you're telling me that, hang on a minute, then what did I give you the money for? Well, you say, well, we help send stuff to somebody somewhere in Peru. How do you know? Well, they don't. But you give your money to the church to support the church, not religion. That's and the religion, not the spiritualism. And do these folks help anybody? Very little, give money to the Red Cross. Sorry, it ain't going to get to the folks that need it. It's been proven too many times. So we need to help each other. You can still go to church. And to hell with paying them if you want to, but to the point is, if you are blinded by the light that you think that because you've contributed to the church, that your debt is paid so you can get into heaven. Wrong. And be grown up enough to look at it and go, oh, some bitch, they cheated me. They lied to me all this time. Oh my God. Be the grown up enough to go, they swindled me. And my friends and my family and other people are waking up to this. I'm seeing it. I'm watching it. I'm sitting over in the corner, just snickering my ass off. I gotta say, I'm snickering because they're waking up. And I was like, well, I didn't expect that person to say that. Snicker. Oh my God, they woke up, And I don't know if it's because some of the Facebook videos I do or not. I'm not taking credit for this in any way. Maybe just a little, but I continue to suggest that it's my positive thought that I put out there. and that I continue in my prayers to think of these people that I know. And I think in the back of my head somewhere, this particular young lady, I knew her father very well, and she came out with some profound stuff, and I applauded her. I was like, right on, Jr. Yeah, right on there, you go, girl. And I'm thinking, but 2 months ago she didn't have those thoughts. 2 months ago she was random and out there and skittish and not focused on anything. And I'm thinking to myself, whatever it was that got to you, my dear, I am so pleased. I will continue to pray in a positive way, and I will continue this because as we speak positively to the universe, I am seeing absolutely different positive changes almost daily. But we have remember this though, folks. Being the grown up doesn't mean we have to be an asshole about it. Well, I know more. It ain't about that. No, 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 no. No. Being the grown up in the room and the camp counselor is being able to understand that you are supposed to be mature enough to handle a situation without losing your temper or without being drawn in, as it were, drawn into the argument. You got to can maintain that grown up counselor thing going on. You have to maintain it. And it's very difficult sometimes. There are times I still lose my shit, if you will. Okay. And because it just hits me so personal, and sometimes these people are such boneheads, and and I've made my amends with folks, and I have made my detractions on Facebook and YouTube for some of my remarks, and deleted a video or two because I got a little over the line for myself. Not picking on any one particular person. Well, the priest, that was my biggest thing. And I'd made a promise I wouldn't do it, and I broke my own promise. But anyway, but to the point, we have to be strong enough and have courage, even within ourselves. So when they try to agitate us and make us so ticked off, we have to have the courage to go, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm still going to be the grown up here. Sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but the names will never hurt me or harm me, or wherever you grew up with that particular saying, if you've ever heard it. But to the point, though, we got to have the courage to stick with our convictions. You know what? And it might be that there's something else comes out later about the bomb or these pipe bomb thingies. And like, I can change my opinion, but I can still say without a doubt, it still smells fishy. That's just the truth. It smells fishy. The whole spiel smells fishy. And with that said, we don't have to go any further with, somebody asking, well, why? Well, they all appeared at the same time at the same place. Some of these packages didn't even have a postmark on it. How'd they do that? That had to have been having delivered. What? There's no postmark on it. How did it get there? What? And if they're all over the United States, how did he get something in California and then up in the Northeast, and he's living in the swamp in Florida? What? Anybody thought about that? Doesn't that sound peculiar to you? Does to me. I mean, I don't have to know anything else to say something's fishy. And before I listen to their narrative, I want all the information. Before I even come close to making a judgment, I'm going to continue saying it smells fishy until they give me enough information, or until something changes my mind, or whatever it is. But to the point, though, I have enough courage to be able to say, I'm sorry, I'm not going along with the normal narrative because it does smell fishy. I'm not saying it could be proven true and this is how he did it and all this other, but until then, I mean, they still haven't settled the Las Vegas thing, in my opinion, that happened a year ago. Are any of you satisfied with the answers? Hell no. None of that makes sense. Too much weirdness going on, too much stuff, too many things, and people died, people didn't die, not sure. But the thing is, it was a tragedy no matter what, because it affected so many people. And here they are almost a year later, right around, now there's pipe bombs in the mail and this kind of thing. Does it remind you of Las Vegas? Here we go a year later. Here we go with some more stuff. Here we go with some more. I'm not saying it's bullshit, but nobody got killed. But a lot of people are nervous. Here we go again. A year later, got to keep folks in chaotic nonsense. Here we got to, So all we got to do is have the courage to go, something's fishy. Don't know what, not sure where, not sure how, but it ain't, the puzzle pieces just don't fit. And I'm sorry, I still don't, there's so many facts about the JFK murder, that it's like, well, if you still think Lee Harvey Oswald pulled that mess off by himself, you are just so drowned in stupidity. I don't know what else to say. But one person could not have pulled that off. That's all there is to it. Was this person involved? Was this guy? Was George Bush? Ain't even going to go there. The simple fact is one guy couldn't pull it off. That's the fact. Now, whether everything else is whatever, but you can have the courage to say, I'm sorry, I'm not buying the narrative. I'm sorry, I don't believe he did it. He was even seen someplace else. I mean, the evidence is just so against the fact that Lee Harvey Oswald acted on his own. So after all these years, it's still I still saw that man get murdered on television going to church that morning. Oh my God, I'll never get that vision out of my head. It's there, and just standing there in my living room going, they just shot him. They did. The guy just walked, and they just shot him. Oh my God! Come on, we got to go to church. We're going to miss Matt. Oh my God! But to the point, though, I've not changed my mind about that. I don't think Lee did it by himself. I don't think Lee had anything to do with it. He was the patsy. But that's another story again. But can we have the courage to say we don't believe the story? We don't believe the narrative? So all of us have to have enough courage to say, I don't know about the facts, and it doesn't really matter. But the pieces don't fit together. And I'm sorry, unless you can give me about all these weird things that you're trying to claim. One particular bullet went through the senator, hit the floor, and came back up. Oh, are you serious? And there's not a dent on the bullet. Give me a break. Anybody that has ever shot a firearm knows that's BS. So with that said, though, have the conviction to just say, I'm sorry, I'm not buying the narrative. You don't have to go off on some conspiracy thing. All you got to do is be honest with yourself and look at the facts. And now that people are having the veil lifted from them and they're looking at the things going on, people have had enough of this. So stay out of the chaos. Be the grown-up in the room. I'm going to read... All right, let me go back up here. Milky Way. Hey, did you get my email? If Brian's still there. Adam, Autumn, and Adam. Okay, great, Milky Way. Should be a winner indeed. Going to have David back on next week. Love you, brother. Brian, I'd like to call you, but all right. I'm going to stay. That's personal conversation. That's all. All good. I'm always here, brother, sending us love and energy. Good to all of us. It's a party at Days. Hi, Rick and the lady. How are you all? I really do love you all. I do. You humble me so much you have no idea. And I just love you all to death. I do. Bite my tongue. Cesar Sayoc is the dude. King Chaos. I call total bullshit. It just doesn't add up. Maybe he had something to do with it. I'm not saying he didn't, but it's just too weird. I live in a van down by the river, and I send out pipe bombs in my spare time that show up with no postmarks on the same day in 14 different states across the United States. But I live in a van down in the swamp. I'm sorry. I mean, oh my God. I just look at the story and go, huh? What? And you want me to believe this? And Lee Harvey Oswald shot 11 shots with only 3. Come on, you guys. I'm not saying he didn't have anything to do it, but the story is strange. We'll email you back shortly after my show and have you on next week. Thank you, Brian. I'm glad you got my email. sometimes, I mean, I literally, how hard is it really to send an email? I didn't, they changed the profile thing on the Google Mail thing. And so I'm looking at it going, son of a bitch, they shut my computer off and updated everything. And now when I go to, wait, that button ain't there. Well, what happened to the menu? Oh, now it's a down arrow. Well, wait a minute, where's the son of a bitch? And I get lost so easily. It's like, wait a minute, because my mind takes pictures of things, and so I use the picture in my mind to go back. Wait, the button ain't there. Oh, son of a bitch! and then my brain goes. They put chaos in my brain just by updating Gmail and all this stuff. Do you want the classic view? Yes, please. Why? Because I don't want anything new. I was really happy with where the buttons were before y'all rearranged everything for me. Please don't do that again. Screw the updates. But anyway, so I just thought I would bring this 2 cents worth in. And I'm not picking on anyone. I really, well, in the back of my mind I am, but we just have to take the stance, have the courage, for each of us. And whether we preach it to anybody else, have the courage to acknowledge it within ourselves. Just stay out of the chaos. Be the grown up in the room. So much love to everyone. My coffee is in the other room and I don't have any here. And this was only supposed to be a 15-minute video. You know me, guys. So much love, everybody. Have a great Sunday evening. Tune into Milky Way that's coming up later on. And I'm going to, if I don't get knocked out, go back to sleep again, I'm going to tune in and hang out with y'all. So y'all be safe, be kind. And let's all say this prayer together. I pray that every one of you and all of your family, friends, the elders, the ancients, and all will accept and receive the blessings from the universe, accept and receive the blessings, the healings, and the knowledge, and that every one of us we are constantly in tune with. So be kind to one another, keep compassion in your heart. Remember, our core values are what's most important. So love to you all. Bye, Marie. Till next time, everybody. Be safe, be kind, and be the grown-up in your room.